So INDUS has a long reputation for building these small and medium enterprises, forming them to a larger group like INDUS is today. We are one of the leading firms in Germany for succession planning for former family-owned businesses, because we think there's a lot to do on small, medium-sized companies in terms of innovation, given the digitalization, given artificial intelligence, and to bring all this stuff into the small and medium-sized companies.
Industrial strength doesn't always make noise, but it builds everything. Here at the MKK in Munich, I'm Lyndsay Malchuk with Appeton. Now, behind the scenes of global manufacturing are companies quietly driving performance, diversified, disciplined, and built to last through cycles. INDUS Holding is exactly that kind of story, a portfolio of industrial businesses designed for long-term value creation. And managing that balance of growth and stability takes precision. Joining me now is the CFO of INDUS Holding, Rudolf Weichert. It is so great to sit with you. How's the show been for you?
Excellent. So thanks for having me, Lyndsay.
Absolutely. You know, Munich is so beautiful in the spring. People don't really give it enough credit.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have any time to visit Munich, so I'm here for this conference. So.
That's true. Well, let's delve right into it then. I want to talk straight out of the gate just about, you're building Mittelstand. And that's really the backbone of the German industry, if we think about that. So in today's environment, is this model tested, or is this exactly where the strength is right now?
Well, I think it's kind of both. It's tested and it's where the strength is. So INDUS has a long reputation for building these small and medium enterprises, forming them to a larger group like INDUS is today. So we are on the market for 30 years, for more than 30 years now, and I think it's a success story overall, and we try to enhance and build even a bigger company out of that model, which is very special.
It is very special. Now, there are some audience members that may not be overly educated with your company. Can you give us just a high level?
Oh, absolutely. So we are specifically focused on small and medium companies in Germany and Europe, but all over the world, because we have an internationalization program. We are I think one of the leading firms in Germany for succession planning for former family-owned businesses in the small and medium range sector. And we have kind of an evergreen sustainable investment case, right? So we don't have an exit case when we invest in the beginning. We try to grow these businesses for a very long time. So a lot of companies are more than 10 years within INDUS, or maybe more than 15 years. So we create these long-term stories for a formerly family-owned business. So it's all business to business. We don't have any consumer products, or only on a rare occasion, but it's all business to business. It's all engineering, it's all technique and technology driven.
Legacy. It's all legacy driven. There
Absolutely.
We go.
Yep.
Let's flip over and talk about that business model just a little bit more, though. Buy, hold, develop mid-sized industrial companies. At its core, what makes the INDUS model different from a typical investment company?
Well, I think there are a lot of differences if you dive into it. First of all, it's like we are a family-owned business on ourselves, right? Even though we are a publicly listed company, but we have a long-term approach to these companies. We don't leverage these companies out like a private equity company. So we really try to find the value drivers and grow these businesses with a very long-term perspective, even though we want to create value for our investments, for our investors.
That's a great strategy to have, for sure. Long term is, a lot of things that a lot of companies are looking for. They don't want a quick thing. So that's a great strategy for sure. What about empowering Mittelstand strategy? Let's talk about that.
I think that's kind of a natural enhancement or development from our prior strategy, Parcours Perform. We have established empowering Mittelstand after a very thorough thought process and strategic initiatives, and it has three core foundations, I would say. It's growth through M&A acquisitions, what we do all the time, because that's kind of the INDUS strategy. It's an increased focus on international business and internationalization. We are a little bit more Europe-centric, but now we think that Asia and other countries have a very good opportunities in the world. Indus was always international, but we want to be even more international right now. And the third pillar basically is innovation, because we think there's a lot to do on small, medium-sized companies in terms of innovation, given the digitalization, given artificial intelligence, and to bring all this stuff into the small and medium-sized companies with the power of a financially strong holding.
And that's something that you're seeing a lot more. So it brings up another question. Are you incorporating AI into your model?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we do not make a big deal out of it, because it comes comes a little bit naturally, because small and medium-sized companies are very good at adapting things very quickly, and that's kind of a focus, and that's kind of an advantage of a small company. So it can be quick and fast. So these companies are adopting everything what's on the market, and we try to foster that and try to speed up this process. We have certain initiatives bringing artificial intelligence into these companies.
So you are very forward-thinking, for sure. What are some challenges that you face, and how are you navigating through them?
Okay, challenges are enormous right now, because I think the strategy is right and the prospects are right, but currently you have an enormous amount of volatility in the world, given all these geopolitical issues going around the world. You have disruptions in your supply chain. You have extreme price increases sometimes. You have export controls from rare earth minerals from China. So that's all sorts of stuff you have to circumnavigate somehow. And I think with a very diversified group as Indus, with a lot of different businesses in a lot of different segments, with small and medium companies, we can adopt pretty quickly. And the risk is kind of balanced through the diversified portfolio we have. So sometimes it's not a huge risk in one spot, right? So it's very diversified, and we think we can. And so far, our companies managed it very well to circumnavigate these geopolitical issues. Absolutely.
Yeah, it seems to be changing hourly.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have tariffs, you have no tariffs, then you have tariffs again.
So it's open, it's not open, it's open.
So you don't know what is with your sales in the United States, for example, what is with your tariffs, what's next week with the tariffs, yeah. So that's very difficult to have all these things in place and in mind, and to, let's say, to guide the portfolio companies in the right direction. And I think we have these three pillars for empowering Mittelstand are absolutely right. It's further add-on acquisitions, it's internationalization, local for local business, it's a strategy for decoupling, and it's fostering artificial intelligence and all these things. So we need just to be fast.
That's it. Speed,
sustainable, but speedy.
That's right. Let's flip over and talk about your growth and your financial outlook. Where is your growth actually coming from? Where is it going? If you and I were to sit here maybe 1 year later, what would be a headline that you would want to see that we're speaking of?
Well, a headline, our Empowering Mittelstand program really has two pillars of growth. One is add-on acquisitions, or acquisitions in the portfolio, where we will spend roughly 50 million every year. That's our plan for now. It will increase. And the other thing is organic growth, which will come through more internationalization and operational excellence into the product. So it's both. We think that we will grow on both sides more or less equally, maybe 4 or 5% through M&A acquisitions, and maybe 4 or 5% through organic growth. And there's some question marks in the equation, because what's inflation-driven price increases and so on. But a year from now, I think we will see some growth.
That's great. Well, it's been a great conversation, quick and short, but there's a lot of jam-packed information in there. So thank you again for sitting with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. Rudolf, this model is so smart, and it's so consistent, and this is a company that is built on consistency and control, and in uncertain markets that becomes incredibly valuable. Indus Holdings is clearly playing the long game, and I appreciate learning more about that. I'm Lyndsay Malchuk with Appeton. Stay tuned, there's more coming.